And good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our weekly field hockey chat with head coach Char Morett-Curtiss. Char, once again, busy week. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, my pleasure. It's always a busy week in this Big Ten conference.
So, two great wins this past weekend against two really good teams. Talk about the importance of just getting back on track after a rough weekend in Iowa against the number one team in the country. How do you feel the girls did, attitude coming in, and how you think they played just overall? And then we'll talk about each game.
Yeah, I think like we talked last week is just really the challenge that we had out at Iowa was, we obviously played a very, very good team on the road in their environment. Felt like we really learned a lot, and we really just took a good look at our video and just said, hey, this is where we need to make some improvements, and really stayed on track with those improvements, especially like the trapping on the sideline against Indiana and just playing a little bit more space spread out against Northwestern. And I thought the players did an amazing job adjusting. One thing that we've always talked to them throughout this entire season is how can we get better week to week? And I think what helps us is we identify specifics of where we need to be better instead of just randomly, let's pick some things here and there individually that they need to be better on. So Laura and LB do an outstanding job with the video and getting the clips together where, again, they can look at, the learning clips, the winning and the learning clips.
And let's revisit Indiana for a second. This was the Friday game coming off the prior weekend, and you look at the score and you're thinking it's starting slow. But that is an exceptional Indiana team, and I thought our girls did a great job of just maintaining composure, staying calm, and then just waiting for their moments for their skill level and talent to take over. Visit Indiana with us briefly.
Yeah, absolutely. Indiana just does a very good job of maintaining their structure. They just zone all over the field, and we're really working with the players, trying to find those seams that we can get between their players, but then again behind their players. And obviously we created some good scoring opportunities. I think we dinked one off the post, just missed a couple of open opportunities in front of the cage in the first half of the game. So just, with them, just keep shooting. And I would say, I agree with you that they did a nice job of maintaining their composure and their game plan.
And then 2 days later, so far, at least on our field, our game of the year, that was exciting. It was energy, high level play, two of the country's best, and a double overtime win. How important was that win, do you think, for your team, not just in terms of the standings, but their confidence level as we roll through the rest of October and get to those postseason games in November?
I think what was most important from that win was not just obviously, scoring more goals, but the way in which we came out and we just did a really good job with our passing sequence, with our outletting, with our pressing together. I felt that we were probably the most connected that we've been all season. You saw us move the ball into the middle of lane of Voss. I felt really helped give those opportunities to get the ball inside, then let's kick it back outside. I thought the backfield did a nice job with the outletting piece. I thought that we played a great 55 minutes of field hockey. I felt we crumbled in the last 5 minutes where we really talk about automatics and how to put the game away.
Right.
And I felt that that's where we just did not have enough, I would say, physical and mental focus to really not give up those corners and get the ball deep and sort of keep the ball out of our defensive end for an extended period of time. And that's where we just, we put the ball to them. They were able to come back at us. Right.
2 games this weekend. Another, just a top 5 matchup. This is exceptional. She's doing Meredith's doing a great job there. Talk about the Scarlet Knights coming in Friday, 4 p.m. at the Field Hockey Complex. Give us your coach's scouting report on Rutgers.
Yeah, I think they're a team that's very similar to, I think they play a lot to their opponent's ability. When they play Northwestern, it was a running game. They dribbled a lot. When it was Indiana, they really passed the ball around a little bit more. So I think they really play to not the talent level, but the style more or less of their opponent. We have great respect for their backfield and some of the players that they have back there, Kerry Burns, and then they just their corners are dangerous with a lot of tipping options. And it's always, a big rivalry game now. It's turned into like
Right.
this game that's, it's almost like a New Jersey, Pennsylvania type game.
No doubt.
As I think we've seen with a lot of the other sports here at Penn State when they come up against Rutgers. Excited to see the men's soccer team win on the road last night at Rutgers. So, hopefully
Something to build on.
Fire even a little bit more. But no, they're a very, very good team, and it's a compliment to our conference. It's a reflection of how strong this Big Ten conference is. And when you look at the computer rankings, I mean, we're probably 1 through 5. And I think that, again, you can't take any team for granted, well, especially not Rutgers.
Well, yeah, I mean, you look at the RPI, I think we're top 5, coaches ranking 6 in the top 10. But the real proof of the level of this conference is the 60 minutes that you have to play no matter who is on that schedule. It's a war.
Yeah.
Friday night, we saw it Sunday for more than 6, and we'll see it again Friday.
Yep, absolutely.
And just over 24 or just under 24 hours later, you got Bucknell coming in here. Now,
Right.
we were here when we hosted NCAAs last year. It's been a couple years since we played them. Jeremy Cook has his program. They're 6-4 right now. Their losses have been very close, and they're a dangerous team. Talk a little bit about Bucknell.
Yeah, Jeremy does a great job getting those kids fired up when they come down from Lewisburg to play us here at Penn State, or whether we're up there. But they just always give you that 100% effort for that 60 minutes. They've got a couple dangerous players that, you really have to be on your game and, just make sure you understand the importance not only of our conference games, but obviously non-conference is going to weigh into, where you continue to be seated throughout the week and at the end of the season. So,
Right.
But great respect for Jeremy and the Bucknell Bisons.
And then what I like that you've done here is the scheduling the next day. Now, whether there was a logistical reason for it or not, this gets you ready for the Big Ten tournament. One game after another. Did that play a part in the scheduling, or was this just more of a logistical thing?
Well, I think sometimes we end up playing Bucknell on like a Tuesday night or a Wednesday night,
Right.
An hour away. And we talked about getting away from that just because it's tough to get your team prepared for the season. I mean, for that midweek game, and then knowing that you might have a conference game down the road. So, I'd rather be playing a back-to-back game than be playing a Tuesday night. And I think that, Jeremy feels the same way. It's going to be a challenge for the back-to-back situation, but we would have that in tournament play anyway. So, I feel confident with our fitness where we are right now. So we're like, it's going to be a quick turnaround, a little less than 24 hours, but, we're just, we feel confident again that, we trained for this for the past, 8 weeks anyway.
And can you give everyone watching and listening an update on Anna Simon? She didn't play against Northwestern. Talk to us a little bit about her availability for this weekend.
Yeah, so Anna last week at practice was happened to throw a couple drag flicks to the roof of the net, and I'm like, girl, where's that been? It's like October. We've been, we could use that skill set, and so we had her do a bunch more and a bunch more. We kept, wow, this is great. Let's see if you can go to the other side. And so as a result, we just, I think, strained her groin muscle doing that skill. So you could see her. She came out early of the Indiana game, actually after she scored a goal, and just decided to rest her with that, and just felt it was more important for us to get her 100% healed instead of limping into the Rutgers game. And,
Right.
I think that Hannah, Zamitis did a great job stepping in on Sunday, and, we're happy to have Anna back. She's obviously a big part of our corner unit. So, but yeah, she was about 50% of practice yesterday, and we're looking for her to be 100% today.
Awesome. And then we're going to be bringing in sophomore Sophia Gladio, first all Big Ten last year, freshman All-American. She's been player of the week a couple times already this week, and just an absolute magician with the stick. So a little bit about Sophia Gladio, the player now, as opposed to last year.
Yeah, we're still, you always feel that the freshmen go from that freshmen to that sophomore year, and you're like, well, yeah, they're a sophomore now, but honestly, with this class, they're still freshmen. They went
It's
from
true.
freshman year
You're
to another
right. You're
freshman
right.
year,
It was just a few
basically.
months ago.
Yeah. But you know what we love about Fia, obviously she's got a unique talent in how she can strike the ball in the backhand and the forehand and eliminate with her stick skills. And she comes in to watch video weekly with either LB or myself, and how she can get better where we need her to improve. And you know, we keep saying if she could recognize space a little bit earlier and eliminate the time, you know, polishing the ball a little bit, then she'd be a lot more dangerous. And we have her going right. We have her feeling comfortable on her forehand side that she can go left or right. You know, but she's very, very obviously talented and has had a bunch of game winners for us this season already.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Well, all right, Char, thank you so much. I appreciate you taking the time with me today, and looking forward to Friday and Saturday. Any chance we can play here at home? We're running out. We only got 3 more, so I'm looking forward to seeing one of these.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, Char.
Awesome. All right. Thanks.
Yep. And we'd like to welcome in to today's chat, Sophia Gladio, sophomore, technically, could be freshman, depending on how you look at things now. Sophia, thank you for taking time on a busy practice Wednesday to join us.
Yeah, of course.
Well, congratulations. You just got second time this year, Big Ten Player of the Week. Good job, offensive. And you were just named the Penn State Female Athlete of the Week for this week. So great job. And that leads us to why you got that. Talk a little bit about these 2 games, that goal you scored against Indiana, and then what was going through your head on the game winner against Northwestern. So give us a quick replay of your mind this weekend.
So in the Indiana game, actually in the very beginning, I got hit in the head pretty bad.
Yeah, you did.
And I had to come out. Yeah, pretty bad. I had to come out for a little bit, which kind of, you know, upset me, obviously. But once I knew I was able to go back in and play, you know, I just kind of tried to reset my focus on the game and try to put that past me, even though I was a little shaken up a bit. But what I knew, so Indiana scored first, obviously. And I think Indiana's a very skilled team, but I know that as like our team, we had a lot more to offer than what was shown in the first and second quarter. So I think our mentality was just to not hold back at that point. And I know for me specifically, I was not going to come off that field until, you know, we scored a goal. That was my mentality. And I know, pretty sure I was being subbed, but we had a lot of momentum within that time period before I scored. So I knew it was coming sooner rather than later. And yeah, I just intercepted a ball. I took a quick free hit. And I just took it onto the backside, and I thought, you know, now or never. And I just ripped it from the far side of the circle and saw it hit the upper right net, which was exciting and pretty thrilling. But honestly, that we knew we weren't done there, and we knew we couldn't be done there. So,
right.
But yeah, so then second half picked up, and I think everyone was finally on the same page, and we just pedal to the metal was our mentality. We just didn't stop. And we dominated that whole second half, I think, and we had a lot more scoring opportunities. So yeah, it was really exciting.
And in Northwestern, you know, that shot off the corner, which is, you know, our corner offense, what we're seeing now recently is we are varying the plays. We are doing a number of different things off the corner. For you to keep that shot, and I know Northwestern called to see if it was too high, but it wasn't. Shot. Is that a shot you work on in practice? Is that something that just comes naturally?
So actually it is a set up corner play. I have been working on that since freshman year. I've scored off of it a couple times last year. So yes, it is a play that we work on. And I think being able to have that skill on my backhand has really helped us, because a lot of goalies are not used, especially in corners, are not used to seeing a reverse shot on a corner specifically. So I think that really plays to our advantage. But yeah, no, Char looked at me and I looked at her, and she just did her little motion, pull left backhand. So I kind of knew in that moment, I was like, all right. I told myself in my head, because we had a few corners before that, I was so done at that point, not mentally, but I think everyone was pretty exhausted at that point. Yeah. I literally whispered under my breath, I said, I'm ending this now. Like everyone I want to win this. Like, this is our moment. to do so. And so, yeah, Grace Smalls had an amazing, fast, hard insert to me. I was able to just hold it for a second, pull left, got a peek at the cage and just shot. And honestly, it was a perfect height, like you said, because it was backboard height initially, but then it was perfect height because it tipped just off the goalie's foot and went a little bit high into the cage. So yeah, that was really exciting.
That was awesome. Now let's talk about this year in general. Yes, we're having a good year. On all of that's true, but what I'm seeing as a fan of the team is watching this team, which is very similar to last year's, mesh, and the growth we're seeing amongst players like yourself and other players who are here for this next year. Talk about all that and then incorporating this new talent, whether it be Mac or whether it be Sophia Menino. Talk about the level of play we're getting from new players and Jerry Schnars, right? And how you see the veterans of the program incorporating the new girls into the fabric of what we're doing.
So I think the biggest thing that we as a team talk about is our connectedness. And I think that's been a main thing we have been talking about. And that's one of our key strengths is how close we are as a team on and off the field. And I think that just plays a lot into our game. So I think last year, although, you know, season didn't turn out how we wanted it to, but like I said, like our connectedness and our connectivity together is just so strong compared to any other team that I've seen. And just like being on the team and actually being able to see it. We just have some of the closest relationships that I've ever had. And so being able to have that connectivity within each other and then incorporating it into these new players this year, I think it's so good to see how we let people come in and we have open arms and we're just very accepting towards everyone. And as soon as Mac and Jerry, the two transfers came in, we were just very excited to have them on board and just excited to get them into the flow of things and how Penn State field hockey works. And I think they fit in great here. And like also Sophia Menino, just the connections that like are on this team are just some that I've never seen before. And I think that really just helps when it comes to game time.
Yeah, well, you can see that you all like each other because you're having fun. You're having fun on the field, and you can tell. As someone watching, you can tell. All right, last field hockey question before we talk about Sophia, the person. So we're having a good year. It's hard not to get a hold of yourselves, or ahead of yourselves, I should say. How do you stay in the moment? How do you stay in the moment of just, okay, my focus is Wednesday's practice. My focus is Friday's game. What do you do as a high-level athlete to stay in the moment?
That's a great question. So a lot we talk about with Carl and Adrian, our sports psych coaches. We talked a lot about just, you know, having both feet on the ground in the moment. We actually talked specifically about this question you just asked a couple weeks ago. But just keeping our feet on the ground and remembering where you are in this moment, and obviously taking the past and using those as learning moments. And obviously you have to look into the future in order to prepare for games. But I think just like realizing what's going on in this moment today and clearing your head before practice and, you know, trying to not think about, you know, the stresses of school or like your social life or your family, and just clear your mind and focus on what's coming up at practice. And I honestly think when Laura sends the practice plan out, I think that helps everyone kind of get a mental of what's to come for practice. And we can, you know, specifically focus on those things. We're not going in like, oh, what are we doing today? I have no idea. No, like we see we're doing 8 possessions. So this is what I'm going to work on. So it really helps like to be able to focus on what's to come at practice and kind of forget about, you know, the past, the future, whatever else is going on in your life.
Okay, so enough field hockey. All right, so let's talk academics. You're in your third semester of classes. Have you decided on a major yet, or not even a major, but do you have a specific field of study that you're kind of gravitating toward?
I actually did technically just declare or change my major to call it the College of Education. So right now that's what that is, but in the future I'm hoping to narrow down to early childhood education because I specifically want to work with, you know, K through 3. But I need a little few requirements in order to get into that specific program. But right now, education, I've always been interested in working with kids, whether that be, you know, a teacher or whatever, working at a daycare, which I got to do this past summer, which was nice. But yeah, so I just always had so much appreciation for my teachers growing up. And I feel like teachers are very underappreciated these days. So I feel like, that's just something I've always wanted to do. I've had a lot of teachers that I've grown really close to over the past few years and have just really helped me become the person I am today through academics and athletics. And I still am in contact with a few teachers today who just have been following me throughout my whole college career, which says a lot about teachers care more, just not just about your academics and what grade you got on a test, but they really do care about your future and like what's to come. So yeah.
Awesome. All right, well, last one. So out of the classroom, off the field, what does Sophia Gladio do for fun? What is it? What's your stress relief?
Oh, good. Well, wow, that's hard. It's a busy life.
Yeah, I know you're busy, but what is it? Could be something as simple as Netflix, a good book, headphones, and music. What is it?
Yeah. Okay.
All your responsibilities.
Definitely Netflix. After I have sort of a routine, but like it's weird. But when I go back to my dorm and I have my food, I'm like, okay, this is my me time. Like this is my me time. I'm putting the homework away. I'm not eating and doing homework at the same time. I'm gonna relax, enjoy my food, put on a show on Netflix, and just focus on that because I feel like it's so important. I feel like some of us get so lost with schoolwork and the stresses of being an athlete. And I feel like, honestly, as ridiculous as it sounds, that just kind of brings me back to reality a little bit. And I'm able to just enjoy myself, even if it's for 10 to 20 minutes. I just think that's extremely important. And that's something I do look forward to at the end of my day. So, yeah.
Awesome. Well, great. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate you taking time to talk with us today. I know our fans are looking forward to hearing what you have to say and meeting you, the person, as opposed to the player. So we really appreciate it.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
All right. And looking forward to Friday. We'll see you at the field.
Yep.